Oh shit, we're okay. Welcome to season 2, episode 12 of the Cinema Dash. I'm Gabs.
And I'm Deej. Hi.
Oh shit, sorry, I was in the middle of the water.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. So, new episode of the Cinema Dash coming right at you, like Cleopatra, and we're gonna talk about a movie that we saw last night called The Nice Guys.
This is Cinema Dash goes explicit.
Cinema Dash goes explicit.
So like every other video.
Oh, okay, fair enough. So yeah, Nice Guys, directed and written by Shane Black, and starring Russell Crowe, Ryan Gosling, and Margaret Qualley. Let's fucking go. Let's do this.
Yeah, takes place in the 70s. Picture this. LA, 1977. That's it.
You crack yourself up.
Picture that.
You crack yourself up, don't you?
Well, I mean, like, I don't know.
Alright, so The Nice Guys, it takes place in 1977.
You know what? Just do me a favor.
What's up?
When you're editing this music playing in the background, you can kind of hear it, like we usually have.
Yeah.
I want it to be like a nice 70s beat, if you catch my drift.
Yeah, like a
Something
so
funky.
like 70s funk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm totally down to clown with that. I got you.
Like a Saturday Night Fever, or yeah.
I got you. Don't worry.
Bee Gees inspired even.
I totally got you. That'll happen. So yeah, we saw The Nice Guys yesterday.
Yes.
Pretty much basics.
Of the recording.
Yesterday.
Of the recording, we saw it
it's hard
yesterday.
to think this video.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we saw it, and pretty much general synopsis is Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe are two PIs, private investigators, working in Los Angeles, when they both end up starting to look for the same girl, a deceased porn star known as Misty Mountains, and
Which I very much enjoy the name of.
Misty Mountains. This is really funny, actually. But so yeah, so she gets murdered. And they go and they have to find this girl who is like a lookalike of her, and hilarity ensues.
Yeah.
So so going into this movie,
first impressions.
I really like Shane Black. I think he's written some of the greatest movies ever made.
What else has he done?
He's written Predator. He's written Lethal Weapon. He directed and wrote Iron Man 3. And he did one of my favorite movies of last decade, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, which was awesome. And it was kind of similar to this one. It was like two guys. It was Val Kilmer and Robert Downey Jr. who and they're like two. They're like I forgot what. Like,
so Batman and Iron Man in one movie.
Yeah, but shitty Batman and best Iron Man in one movie.
I mean, you only got one Iron Man, so
fair enough. But
yeah,
it was kind of like this. It was like a mismatched buddy crime drama comedy, kind of like this. And and I really, really liked that movie, so I had high expectations and high hopes going into this one, because Ryan Gosling is one of my favorite actors of all time. Russell Crowe's a fantastic actor, and the rest of the cast looked really good as well. And, Shane Black is a fantastic writer, pretty good director. So, honestly, this movie had a bunch of just driving force behind it, so I was really looking forward to seeing. What about you?
Well, I only saw, I think I saw a trailer for this online.
Uh-huh.
It looked pretty good. And I went into this movie, and yeah, I had a good time in it. I do like both Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling. They're both very good actors and everyone. And yeah, I mean, the 70s is really like a really good time in film, I guess, or like the place films, I would say. The last one, like one of the more prominent films I remember seeing that takes place in the 70s was Boogie Nights, with Mark Wahlberg and Heather, what's her name? Heather Graham, and Burt Reynolds.
Yes.
So yeah. So that's basically it. It's my.
No, yeah, I'll agree with you. Like, the 70s is a really good place to set films, because you got great soundtracks, and just the overall aesthetic of it, kind of like, just like the really like funky clothes and like the like really out there colorful clothes and stuff like that.
What I think it's like the 70s. Then the 80s and then the 60s are the three most prominent decades that films that aren't taken in aren't made in that decade are set in.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Like
in that order, from top to bottom.
In that order.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely been like a total influx nowadays of like movies that like harken back to like those three time periods, like with the whole like resurgence of like 80s neo-noir, like with Drive and The Guest and stuff like that, most like that are like in this decade that have been recently released. And even like remakes of popular like 60s TV shows like The Man from U.N.C.L.E. from last year, which I kind of think is a really underrated movie. I really enjoyed that movie, and it was kind of sad to see that it was really underrated because I thought it had a good director behind it and had a really good cast, and like I don't know, it's just I feel like it shouldn't have been as criticized as it totally was.
You got two actors who aren't really that well known for being in good movies, i.e. you got Henry Cavill in the shitty Superman movies we're getting now, and you get Armie Hammer, who got in that Lone Ranger, totally almost just the latest like tanked movie that Disney makes.
Yeah.
It seems like every year they make a movie that tanks, like badly.
Well, like that's the thing. Like most movies,
too.
like even like most movies tank.
Well, like it seems like Lone Ranger, and then there was like John Carter.
Yeah, no, like Disney's like the media reports like their tanks, because like 90% of movies all tank. Like not because like when you look on the Wikipedia article, like it's like that was the budget for the movie, but they don't factor in like marketing, merchandising, and stuff like that. So like really, a movie with the budget of like $100 million is like in retrospect is gonna be like a $250 million movie. So like that movie's got to make over like $500 million to like be profitable. So like when you look at like a Disney, like when you look at Disney movies now, like Marvel movies and like Star Wars movies, those are guaranteed profit movies because the most recent Star Wars just passed like $2 billion. So that's a massive like net gain. But then when you look at like smaller movies like I don't know, like Green Room for example, where like their budget was like 30 million and I think it only made like 20 million. So like you also got to factor in like marketing and stuff like that. So that's probably like a $50 million, $60 million movie, and it's like, you know, like well, you can't see my gestures, but like it's like a risky gain. So like you have to like that's why studios are like really hesitant to like invest in like these new and original ideas, kind of like The Nice Guys. But like The Nice Guys has a bunch of star power behind it, so you could definitely see why the studio would invest in it. And I really do hope this movie does well because I think we both enjoyed it.
I think we both enjoyed it at a different level though. Like I did like the movie, but I think you enjoyed it more than I did.
I did enjoy it a little bit more than you, I would say. I mean,
well, let's give a reason. Let's give our reasons why we thought it was good.
Yeah.
This subject.
You can start us off.
Okay. First off, good things. Comedy was also good. It was very good in it. I was laughing a lot. You were laughing a lot. I feel like the whole room was laughing a lot. Even when we were laughing at some parts where everyone else wasn't, but we just found the comedy in it.
Yeah.
And I guess the comedy is the first thing you want in this movie, or what they're trying to get in the movie. Which I guess is good, but like I don't think this movie is a comedy. It's more of like it's a mystery comedy. But I think the mystery should have came first, which is like one thing I didn't really like about the movie was that they were trying to be funny first, and then like then we gotta do the story. But it's like the comedy is good at this point. Story was alright. I liked it. Kind of lost me at points, but it's still very good. I think a mystery is if you want to know what the end of it, like how it ends up and how everything wants to roll out, then yeah, I think it does. It succeeds at being a mystery, and this one definitely did succeed in it. What did you like about it?
I think my favorite aspect of this movie was the writing. I thought the writing was extremely strong.
Yeah, but it's very conversational, not controversial.
Yeah, controversial.
I don't know why I wanted to say that.
But like the thing is, like Shane Black, I think is still one of the best writers in Hollywood. Like nowadays, like after coming off like Predator and Lethal Weapon, two of like the greatest like '80s movies ever.
Yeah, that's 30 years ago though.
I know, but like the thing is, like he doesn't wallow in like his past endeavors. Like even with the movies he's done nowadays, like Iron Man 3, like while not many people did like that movie, I really thought the writing was pretty strong. And a lot of other people thought the writing was pretty strong.
Yeah, but that's the thing, and we talked about that before, was that while most Marvel movies are good, there are some that are like lacking compared to others, but there's still an enjoyable thing in that.
Yeah, they still have like good aspects about them.
And Iron Man 3, while isn't the best Marvel movie, is still very enjoyable.
Yeah, and I definitely think that's mostly because of the writing, and also because Shane Black and Robert Downey Jr. have worked together, so Robert Downey Jr. knew what Shane Black wanted.
Yeah.
And like the thing is, like you could tell what a Shane Black movie is, because Shane Black, his writing style is very distinctive. He goes for really like fast-paced quips and like one-liners and jokes and stuff like that, and that's what this movie has a lot of, like very fast one-liners, quips, and for the most part, I think they work well. Sure, there was some jokes that did miss, and you know that's with everybody. Not every joke is going to be a hit amongst a really like large crowd, but for the majority of the movie, the jokes did work, and I really think this movie has one of the best screenplays of the year. I really would like to see it get nominated for an Oscar because I do think it's an Oscar-worthy screenplay. Oscar-worthy screenplay.
There you go.
I don't know, that's a tongue twister, but yeah. So I really enjoyed the writing, and I also really enjoyed the directing because Shane Black, his movies like really focus on characters, and you could tell this was a very character-driven movie. Like, sure, there was a story that these characters were following, but this was really about how these two guys work together and how their characters develop and what you could find out about them. And that's why I also think that with Shane Black's distinctive writing style and the way he directs Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe, I really think that he really pulled together a really good movie about how these characters interact with each other. And like, what I really liked about it was that like throughout the movie, you see these characters' personalities develop, and then throughout the movie, he throws like curveballs at you through like little details. Like with Russell Crowe, you see him as this guy who just beats the living shit out of people.
Tough as nails, and
yeah, tough as nails, beats the living shit out of people. And you just think he's just like this macho guy who doesn't really care for anyone. But then you find out that the reason he's doing all of this is because he stopped one guy in a diner one day, and he was like, I don't want to be a bad guy, I want to help people. So it really gives a whole new arc to his character that like where you go throughout the entire half the movie thinking that he's just this guy who really just gets enjoyment from beating up people, but what he actually does is he just wants to help people. He just charges money for it. And then with Ryan Gosling's character, he's like this like drunk alcoholic, like
father
fuck up, like who just ruins or is close to ruining everything. But then you realize that he really has a strong sense of morality, albeit good or bad, because there are definitely different points in this movie where his character showcases good morality and bad morality. But it's just the way that this all comes together, and it's just the way that this all comes together and develops these two characters, and it just makes the writing really strong, and the way Shane Black directs his actors really strong.
Yeah, and the one other thing I really liked about this movie was just the acting in general.
Oh yeah,
Ryan Gosling does a terrific job. Russell Crowe does a good job as well. Both do like a very above average job with the movie. This is like a different role kind of I see with Ryan Gosling, just because he's more like a kind of a wimp, I would say. Because you see, like he gets like scared easily. Like he just says, "Oh Jesus!" Like,
yeah. As opposed to like in Drive, where he plays like this tough guy who's silent, or like Only God Forgives, where he plays this tough guy who's silent. It's really nice to see that he's getting back into more comedic roles, because that's really where his career kind of like built off of. Was doing like comedies and stuff like that, and maybe some romance films now and then, like The Notebook. And it was really cool to see like Ryan Gosling go back to that comedic role, because he's really at home when he does comedic roles. Sure, he's at home in like these action movies, but like he really nails like the whole, especially when you have such smart writing like this. Like he just knocks it out of the park. I think while both actors were very good, Russell Crowe was excellent. I do think Ryan Gosling was like the standout star of this movie, because he told most of the great jokes, and I think that he had some of the best lines in this movie. Well, Russell Crowe did have some good ones as well. But yeah, overall acting very, very strong in this movie. Definitely very, very strong. And I don't really remember there being like a bad performance in this movie. I mean, the daughter had some like questionable lines.
That's one thing I want to get to when we talk about the stuff we didn't like, though.
You didn't like the daughter?
I didn't like any of the kids. I didn't like the fact that there were just kids in this movie. Because whatever, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit later. What else?
I guess we can just get to that now if you want.
I mean, like, that's really like everything about like, again, like the writing, acting, directing.
I feel like they got the 70s pretty well.
I mean, no, dude. Oh my God, the production design was one of the best parts about this movie, hands down. It felt like this movie could have been made in the 70s. That's how I think how good the production design was, from the cars to the music.
Maybe not the humor, but like everything else.
Oh, definitely not the humor. The humor was definitely updated. I would say, because it wasn't as like PC. Oh no, actually, I feel like the humor could have been in the 70s, because the 70s were like really a lot less PC.
I mean, like, think of it this way: Do you think 4 Hitler jokes would have just like been funny like in the 70s? Keep in mind it's like 32-ish years, like 30 years after World War II happened.
I don't know, maybe.
Where now it's kind of like 70. We're like in that 70 range where it's happening. It's 70, right?
Around there. I think so.
Yeah, about 70. Yeah.
Yeah, around there. But like, and then you also got to factor in that like the 70s, like they also had a lot of racist humor, like Blazing Saddles.
Well, yeah, but like, I don't think. I mean, like that's like more of a parody that we're talking here. It's a parody on.
Well, yeah, it is a parody, but like
it's a parody on just Western film, so you wouldn't see that in a Western film, so it catches you off guard. That's why it works. This is like a like this is a crime. This is a crime movie with a mystery, and yeah, but like he throws a Hitler joke out there, and I'm like, I mean, it's funny. It is funny just because it's dark humor, but like. Would it work back then? Probably not.
No, I mean, yeah, probably not. But like,
am I saying that like I'm not? I don't know if there's like a Hitler joke in any like 70s movie ever. But like, I can't think of one off the top of my head. But like, I just don't think. It's your phone. I just don't think it would work back then. But like,
but I would definitely say everything else in this movie totally would. Like
yeah.
The way like this movie does it honestly does feel like it could have been released in the 70s because like. Everything about this movie, production design wise, looks like incredibly realistic, and they definitely nailed it. Like I was mentioning before, everything from the cars, the soundtrack, especially the soundtrack, the Cars soundtrack, just like the designs of like the houses and stuff like that, the look of like the look of just LA in general that they the look of just LA in general that they used. It's very, very true to the time period, and I was just really impressed by that, because I think they definitely spent a large portion of the budget on really grasping the feel, really grasping the feel of the 1970s. Even what was really cool was going so far as to use like 70s film stock to shoot some scenes. Really? That I noticed. Like, did you see in the beginning, or not the beginning, like near the end, where they were at the car show? And they were like doing all the promos. Oh, even in the beginning, when they showed like that clip of like the towels that they were using. Yeah, that was like old 70s. Like I don't know what kind. No, that was hilarious. But how many like it just you see like the film stock that they used in the 70s and stuff like that. It was just a nice little touch of detail, I think.
Yeah. The costume design too is just very on par.
Oh yeah, definitely the costume design.
That and the soundtrack, I would think like if you're gonna watch a movie that's based in the 70s, is like these are some songs that I would think is just 70s and when you hear the songs like 70s.
Yeah, you just think of the 70s exactly. Yeah.
There's other songs that you didn't think about you would use, and like I think they did pretty well.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So yeah, overall I think that pretty much narrows it down for what we liked. So production design, writing, directing, whatever, acting impeccable. So yeah, I mean, while this movie is good,
every movie is good and or bad. These are stuff.
While this movie I think is pretty good. I think it's one of the better movies I've seen this year. It's got a little bit of problems, I would say. I would definitely say it's got some problems. Not like the pros here definitely outweigh the cons.
Yeah.
Like, for me, I think the cons are just more nitpicky, but I think for you, I think you had
I have some
issues with it. Yeah.
The one thing I was talking, just getting back on that now, is the kids in the movie. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't like the fact that there are a lot of kids in this movie. Like, they're okay, I guess, but like, this like the situations they were all in, and I'm like, why do you have a kid there? Like, a kid should not be over there. Like, in the beginning, the car like just bashes through the entire house, and like the kids' parents are there. So why didn't the kids' parents like wake up from whatever they were doing? I would feel like if a car like crashed through my house through 2 walls, it would like wake everyone up. But no, the kid, that's my phone. The kid, runs outside and there's a half-naked lady out in the car who's dead. Also, how the hell did she get out of the car that far away?
She was launched out of the car.
I mean,
you saw in the beginning. You saw the windshield was broken. She was launched out of the car.
If that's the case, the car was flipped over. So like, how would she get out?
And also like hit her. I don't know, man. Gravity works in mysterious ways, dude.
Placement, whatever. Like the kid's happening. Like the kid's like 8 too. I'm pretty sure like they didn't like, we're not gonna show a kid that kind of stuff at that young of age because it's gonna probably fuck them up or anything. So we'll have like a prosthetic. I guess we'll have like something fake, hopefully. Cause like the one thing about this is like the kids use like fuck too in the movie. And I don't know how old the kid is, but like I don't know. To me, like if a kid like just sees that and says that kind of stuff in a movie, I kind of feel awkward. It just feels awkward to me.
I feel like I agree with you that the kids in this movie were like, I feel like the kids were just there to make a joke. You know what I mean? They weren't there to like serve a plot. Like they weren't there to serve the plot at all. They were just there for a joke. Like especially that kid on the bike. He was there for just kind of like exposition and then made a dirty joke.
That kid was funny, but it kind of pissed me off still.
I mean, like the want to see my dick joke was not really like, I don't know, it didn't really hit for me.
I'm like,
it just kind of felt forced.
I'm like, if a kid just said, I mean, this kid's like 8, maybe 10 years old, and he's like, yeah, you want to see my dick? I'm like, that's fucking weird, but like, it's still funny. But like,
I mean, I can see it being funny to
it's
some
like awkward
people.
funny. Like, I feel like half the audience would find it awkward or like even cringeworthy, or like they'll find it funny because it's either cringeworthy or just you wouldn't expect that from a kid.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, just seeing like just kids like seeing like people like grown-ups like naked, regardless of who they are and whatever, or like just saying shit like this in a movie is just awkward to me. Like the fact that like the daughter played such a just a big role in the movie, I didn't like. If it were the two guys like just doing it by themselves, it'd be better. Like just the fact that she was helping I didn't like. Like if she were like a side thing, like oh the PI Ryan Gosling's dead and he's got like won the daughter back because he did something. Maybe that would have worked better. Like oh solve the case. Like you as my dad now. And then like the other thing was like she said like oh I hate you. You're a bad PI. You're also fuck you. But like and I'm just like and then like 2 seconds later she's like oh never mind I like my dad. It's like, oh, I also know that she's like, I know that she's like there because of this stuff. And like they leave, and it's like, oh, turns around, like, oh, smile on my face. Yeah, I like my dad.
I like my dad.
Yeah, but like, it's just I didn't like any of the kids. They're like, if you had the movie without the kids, I probably would like them more.
Now I see where you're coming from with this, but I thought the daughter was kind of a mixed bag for me. I feel like she had some good scenes and some pretty poor scenes. I like the scene when they were in the bowling alley and she was like, hey, you want to beat up my friend Janet? Like, I thought that was a pretty funny scene. I feel like if
you put any kid in that situation, it probably would have been funny.
I mean, sure, yeah, but it just happened to be his daughter.
Because that kid is asking asking Russell Crowe to beat up another kid.
Yeah, but it was just his daughter. Like, whatever.
Yeah, but like if you put any other kid and say, oh, I want you to beat up this other kid.
I mean, yeah, it'll be funny.
Because what you do is beat up people for a living.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it'd be funny, totally. But like, it was just his daughter. Like, that was just the character that was in that scene at the time. Sure, you could put any other kid in there. You could put the fucking neighborhood stray in there, and it would be funny. But like,
you could put that kid on the bicycle who wanted to show everyone his dick.
Yeah, it'd still be funny. And like, the thing is, like, she had some good scenes, but I also feel like she just didn't have some good. She just had some poor scenes. I mean. That's really with any movie ever, where like, unless it's like you're Daniel Day-Lewis and you're just owning every single scene you're in. But like, I do think that she had some genuinely good scenes. Like, I like the part, again, I like the part in the bowling alley. I like the part where Matt Bomer breaks into the house and she has like the gun. Like, I just found her to be like, cool. It was cool that she was like resourceful and stuff like that.
I didn't like that scene just because I felt like he should have like just read it easier. Like, oh, you're gonna grab the gun. There you go.
Oh.
I just snapped that girl's neck, whatever. But
oh my!
I just feel like whenever scene like, what I will say is that every actor who wasn't Ryan Gosling or Russell Crowe did either an okay or a bad job.
So Matt Bomer, what do you think?
I mean, like, he was cool, I guess.
He was alright.
I mean, like, all he did was just shoot people.
I liked all the jokes directed. I liked all the jokes that she made, and like they all made directed at Janet. I thought they were all very, very funny jokes. But just like, I don't know. One of my problems with the movie, I think, is that it's run. I feel like it was just a tad bit too long.
Yeah, I think it was too long as well.
I think it was just a little bit too long. I feel like some scenes were like dragged out, or some scenes felt a little bit unnecessary. But I feel like at least 98% of the movie was what should have been in there. Like, it moved the plot along, everything was good, it just forwarded the plot, and like at least 2% I feel like was just a little bit of filler.
I feel like 20% of this movie could have been taken out and it would have been better.
You think so?
Yeah, at least 20%.
Okay.
Or at most, rather.
At most. I mean, I definitely see there are definitely some points in this movie where it does feel a little bit slow, and I think that's just mostly because of Shane Black trying to work in exposition throughout the entire movie. And while I appreciate, like I liked how he did it in like a way where like they just didn't have a character just there being like, listen, are you kidding me? We have to find this, and this, and do you know what this is? Well, here it is. And then he gives like a 5-minute speech about what this thing is, and it's like exposition the scene, and it's like I liked how he.
Well, to be fair, like just mystery movies in general all have to give exposition, because like if you're doing like with cops, and like, oh, here's how it all went down. Here's the backstory. You got that? Now here's what you need to do.
Yeah, but like the thing is, I like movies that do that in a clever way, like this one, whereas opposed to like a mystery movie, to like a big budget rate mystery movie where they just have cop number 1 or cop number 7 in the interrogation room telling the detective, yeah, here's the backstory, blah blah blah, like what you said. I really liked it. I really like how in The Nice Guys they just have like little like visual or little visual cues like into which like how the movie is gonna progress, or like how they have like those flashbacks kind of like
like the beginning, you mean? Like when they're showing like all the two Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling's backstory.
Yeah,
that was alright.
Because in the like funny, when the flashbacks in the beginning, yeah, they were very funny, and it also gives you a sense of what these characters are. You know, instead of just like here's Ryan Gosling's face, and it's like Ryan Gosling as Hart detective who's a drunk or whatever, like just like a graphic explaining it all. I really liked how there was just like these subtle cues that like really like when he's in the bathtub. When he first wakes up in the bathtub, you're like, why the hell is he there? And then in the background, just out of focus, you see like 3 empty Jack Daniels bottles, and it's like, oh, okay, he's an alcoholic. I get that. And like, I just really appreciated how this movie doesn't rely on a single character or a single event to just relay exposition to the audience and spoon feed them the story. And now for a problem that I have with the movie is that, again, while I feel it's a little bit too in the scenes in which the movie is too long, it really drags.
Yeah,
I think it really drags.
Well, I came home from the movie, and I was talking about this with my brother and a couple of his friends, and what I told them was, the beginning, if I can sum up this movie into 3 parts, the beginning, middle, and end. The beginning and end were very good, but the middle was just too like just boring to me. Yeah, and like I said, it was like that's basically it.
And also another problem that I have with the movie is the ending. Not that the ending was bad at all. It's just it does that action comedy formula that like a lot of action comedies do, like most recently Keanu, that I heard a lot of reviewers were talking about, that what they do is they have these really funny jokes throughout like the beginning and the middle, and then near the end the comedy is basically almost not there, and it's just really reliant on action. I think the last 20 minutes of the movie were just dedicated to a gunfight, and I was like, okay, while the gunfight was good and there were some funny parts in it, it's just the comedy, which was one of the main focuses of this movie, was just not there, and the action overtook it. It just stopped being funny to me until like after the gunfight. Then there was a couple more jokes where it was really funny again, and then it ended. So it was like first act a little bit of action, a lot of jokes. Yeah. Middle, not really so much action, a lot of jokes, a lot of exposition. Ending, minuscule amount of jokes, action heavy, and then like end to end, more jokes. Yeah, you know what I mean? But like, and then it's not this movie's fault. It's like a lot of action comedies are doing that nowadays, where they're like relying on action for the last scene, and it's like, okay, whatever, that's fine. But I'm just getting a little bit tired of seeing that, because like while I thought the action in this one was particularly good, it's just it breaks off from the rest of the theme of just having a bunch of comedy, of just like having comedy in this movie. It kind of like shifts genres, just in a really jarring way, in my opinion. I don't know. I just I guess it's like, I don't know. I'd say it's a flaw. I don't know. This is my opinion.
I agree with you. I do.
Okay. So, another thing that I kind of was a little mixed about was Matt Bomer's character. I feel like he was really creepy.
Tough guy. I mean, I think that's the point.
No, yeah, that was definitely the point. Like, he was creepy, but like they kind of just like shoehorned him in my opinion.
I kind of feel like they horn-shoot a lot of stuff in. Like the fact that like, the thing with Russell Crowe in the diner, I feel like they just shoehorned in. Oh, you're the guy from the diner. Yeah, I'll tell you later. All right, here's like 5 seconds. Here's like me talking about it for like 2 minutes. Oh, you're asleep. Never mind. Let's just never talk about that again. Except when like I call you out for sleeping on it for like less than like maybe 30 seconds.
I don't know. See, like I feel like that was like kind of integral to his character though. Like where you figure out that like he's not this cold-blooded guy who just beats the shit out of people. Like he's doing it for a reason.
If it were, then I would think you should probably talk about that more. Where it might have gotten probably at most 5 minutes of screen time, where they actually talked about it.
Alright. Well, anyway, back to Matt Bomer's character. It's just like they kind of shoehorned him in. I feel like he didn't really. He was just kind of like this really creepy guy that was just there to like kill somebody.
He was there in the last. He was there in like the last third of the movie, maybe.
He was just generic hitman number 4 that higher power hires to go kill somebody. Mm-hmm. And I want to talk about
who was she that played
Kim Basinger?
Okay, that's what I thought.
I want to talk about Kim Basinger and Margaret Qualley, the girl who plays Amelia, for a little bit. I really like Margaret Qualley as an actress. She's in one of my favorite shows ever called The Leftovers, and she's doing a fantastic job in that show. But in this movie, she got a decent amount of screen time. Like one thing I did like about this movie was that it kind of like subverted the mystery a little bit, where they kill the person, where they like spoilers. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna put a spoiler tag on it anyway, but where they kill the object, or like where they like kill the person of interest that like Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe are looking for. Like I thought that was really interesting, and it was like a kind of like a twist. Like holy shit! Like what are they gonna do now? Like what's going on? But like the thing with Kim Basinger is I
think they cut the case right from there, and then like they got right back into it, right? Because they realized something.
Yeah, because they realized something, and I was like, okay, cool, yeah, like I totally get that. I'm totally behind that. But like the thing is, with Kim Basinger's character, is that she was totally and utterly useless. She was just a useless character. Like she was introduced, and then she pays these guys to go look for her daughter, and they do that, and they find her or whatever, and then she's out of the movie for like maybe 40 minutes
until the end,
until the very end, where we figure out that she's going to jail for a little bit, and it's like, whoa, guys, whoa. First off, you introduce Kim Basinger as this really major character who feels like she's going to play a very pivotal part in the rest of the movie, and then it's like there's no mention of her throughout the rest of the movie.
And then like
and then at the end, and then like an hour later, she's like, oh yeah, I'm going to jail because like I got caught. Like that's it. And then like she does like the generic villain line, and she's like, you haven't seen the last of me yet, or like nothing's gonna change or whatever. And I'm like,
yeah, but it's the end of the movie, so I don't really care now.
Yeah, it's like I don't really care. Like, you know, like you were in this movie and you were hyped up to be like a very pivotal part of this movie, where you're like hiring these guys, you have to be in close contact with them and stuff like that, and then we don't hear from you from the rest of the movie. So I was like, that was a little off-putting. I was like, I don't really like how they handled that, but like she's not even, and it's like, okay, she's gone. I feel like her character is the equivalent of like dragging something into the recycle bin. You know what I mean? Like it's just like having a temporary file on your computer. It's like, all right, I need this for a couple of minutes, and then just dragging it into the recycle bin and emptying it. So I was like, okay, like I don't need it anymore.
Like,
you know?
Yeah, it's like for school, like for schoolwork, like the first semester, like and then it comes like the end of the whole first year. All right, I'm not gonna need any of this work anymore because I'm not gonna put it in a portfolio or anything. So I'm just gonna recycle it so I have more space in my computer. But
there it is. Yeah, it's it. It's like that's what her character felt like. And like the thing, and like with Amelia or Margaret Qualley's character, I really liked her, like, but I felt like her performance was a little just over the top. Yeah. I think like while I get she was trying to be like this radical liberal who's trying to change the world or whatever.
The whole fact that it was like a daughter mother fighting thing didn't interest me at all, really.
Yeah, and it was like I guess she was trying. I get they were trying to portray her as like this radical this radical person, the radical liberal who wanted to like change the world and stuff like that.
Yeah, but how many times have you seen that before?
Really? We've seen it a lot. But like the thing that really got me was that like these guys, like Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe were like genuinely like trying to help her, but she just kept spouting all of this BS at them, and like she wasn't helping them at all and stuff like that. And like she didn't even like give a reason for. She must have
said the same thing at least 3 times.
Yeah, like corporate fascist conservatives and stuff like that.
And they kept doing the same joke about like the film she was in, and like they're just kind of like beating a dead horse at that point.
It's an experimental film. Like it was funny the first time, and then I was like, all right.
They're just beating a dead horse. Because I think Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling each said it about 3 times, if not 5.
Yes. so her character and her whole arc was kind of a mixed bag for me, but I mean, like, that's really all I have to say about the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry to be so abrupt like that, but honestly, that's really all I have to say about the movie. I mean, aside from some really, really good jokes that I thought were funny, like, I really liked how, I think one of the funniest parts of this movie was that, like, Ryan Gosling didn't have a sense of smell. I thought that was, like, really funny, and they didn't kind of, like, shoehorn it in. It was just kind of like a casual passing mention.
Oh yeah, like,
And
it smells like Mary Jane came here.
Yeah, he's like, who the hell's Mary Jane? Like, what are you talking
Yeah,
about?
Mary Jane.
Yeah, like marijuana. And he's like, oh yeah, I lost my, I can't smell it anymore. But like,
How do you lose the smell again?
it was like, I think he like punched in the face or something. No, yeah, I forgot how he lost the smell.
Yeah, I feel like if that's like a thing, like if you forgot it and I like totally don't know how it happened.
No, because like, no, but like that's why I like about it, because like it wasn't used as like a plot device. You know what I mean? It was just strictly there for the sake of a joke. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't there wasn't a pivotal point in the case where like Ryan Gosling's like, I need to smell this, and he like can't smell. You know what I mean? Like it was just there for the sake of a joke, and the joke was a hit.
Well, he
you know
also
what I mean?
uses it again because he's mentioned that the whole.
Well,
house
yeah,
burned
but like
down.
the whole house burned down, the furnace and everything.
Also,
but like
what-
that wasn't to forward the plot. That was just to give like a little bit of background on his
Also,
character.
is
you know
his
what I mean?
wife just dead?
Yeah.
Oh, how? Because the
The
house
house
fire?
blew up.
Oh, I didn't pick that up.
They mentioned it. It was like, yeah, like the house burned down. It was when Russell Crowe was talking to the daughter
Yeah.
in the field.
No, I
she was
remember
like,
that,
yeah,
but
like the house
I
burned
totally
down.
didn't. Totally didn't pick that up that she died.
No,
So
yeah, she
whatever.
died. Yeah.
Alright,
But
whatever.
like, so yeah, like I just liked how it wasn't really like it wasn't used as a plot device. It was just used for a joke, and it was a joke that worked. I thought it was really funny. So yeah, I mean, do you have anything else you want to say about it? Because I'm good, honestly.
I feel like I have one more thing to say about it. But I totally forgot about it. I don't know. If I do, I'll probably write a comment below about it.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that pretty much narrows it down on the whole on the movie. So I guess we'll do our ratings now. So
Yeah.
I'll be all right. So I would this is always the part that like
Yeah.
stumps me. But you're better at this than I am. I don't even know. I would.
Also, what was the Killer Bees thing about? Besides the fact that just
What do you mean?
there was like a common like thing about like killer bees. Remember
I only mentioned it. I only remember it mentioned twice.
like the bar guy and then
Like
like
the bar guy and the bee in the back seat.
and then like there's the bee at the end and like for whatever reason like there's just a bee joke.
Well, there was like the whole epidemic thing in the 70s, like about that. Like there was like a killer bee thing in the 70s.
I wouldn't know about that.
Well, like
You know what? This is something I'm gonna say. I feel like if you're a dad, you'll enjoy this movie.
oh yeah, it's a total dad movie.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say like I mean like I feel like everybody 18 and up could enjoy this movie because there were
I feel like if you're a dad and you want to bring your son to see a movie, this is a movie for you both.
yeah, totally. This movie was I would definitely bring my dad to go see
Like the
this.
dad will probably like I think like I was gonna say, I think I said to my brother like if I think dad wants to see this movie I think he'd be pretty happy.
Because
with it.
my dad was even mentioning it. He was like, yeah, I kind of want to see this. So I was like, yeah, I mean, I'd totally go see this with you. But yeah, totally. I would definitely say it's a dad movie.
Speaking of dads, I would give this movie 6.5 dads out of 10. Possible dads.
Why dads?
Because I think it's a dad movie.
All right, I would wear 8.5 multicolored suits out of 10 for this
I would
movie.
drink 6.5 scotches out of 10.
Damn straight.
I
That's
would.
where it is.
I would, you know what? They also smoked a lot in this movie, so I would smoke 6.5 packs of cigarettes out of 10.
Jesus Christ, I'd kill you.
And then get lung cancer.
I get 8.5 lung cancers out of 10.
You're giving it 8.5?
Yeah,
Oh.
8.5.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I really liked the movie.
Like,
I really liked it.
Like, I gave Winter Soldier an 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah, well, you're like more harsh. I'm more generous, I would say.
Alright.
You're definitely harsher. I really enjoyed the movie. Like the two flaws that I mentioned are like, yeah, they're flaws, but like they don't like bring it down to like
So to
terrible movies. You know? I don't know.
What,
I
do you
mean,
remember giving anything else an 8.5?
I've given. All right, let's see. I gave Deadpool a 10.
I also gave Deadpool.
I gave Civil War a 9. No, a 9.5.
I gave it an 8.4. Because I'm an asshole about it.
I gave Cloverfield Lane a 7, and you gave it like a 1. I gave Batman v Superman a 3.
I gave it a 1.
You gave it a 1.
I want to rechange that score. I feel like
You want to rechange Batman v Superman score? How low do you want to go?
Yeah, 0.
0? There was
It's-
nothing redeemable about that movie for you?
Not really.
Not even like the action
I
or
would
like the
never watch.
visuals?
I would never watch that movie.
I would never watch it again, but like I thought the action and the visuals were fine. They weren't mind-bogglingly great, but they were okay. Well, the visuals were mind-bogglingly great, actually. I have to say.
They're like mediocre.
I thought the visuals
they're-
were fantastic.
They're just like, yeah, this is like
Everything about that movie
it-
is a steaming pile of dog shit,
nothing
but
stood
like
out to me as like bad or good. If that makes sense. Like, it was just there.
it's just meh.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever. That movie's a steaming pile of dog shit. I'm never gonna watch it again.
I mean,
but like
that's a whole nother. That was a video.
that was a video we already made. But
Yeah. I guess we can talk about that too, because like I feel like we should talk about. We haven't done really a. I want to say like trailer talk maybe, but like it's like a in the industry,
yeah, we haven't done that in a while.
because I feel like we should.
Wait. Actually, yeah. Hold on 1 second. Oh yeah. So that concludes our Night Sky reviews. So
Yeah.
whatever. So yeah. I mean, I would say I'm a little bit more generous in my reviews than you, but
Yeah.
like, whatever. You know, this is
Uh,
my opinion. I don't know. It's whatever.
I mean, like it's just your opinion, man.
like your opinion, man.
I never saw Big Lebowski, but I just know that's a quote from
It's a
it.
good movie. It's a good movie.
We should probably do a review of that. I want to do it. What? You don't like it?
No, I like it. I just don't really want to do a review of it.
I never saw it, but I feel like it's like a pretty big movie that we could probably talk about.
Yeah, probably.
I think it's more of a discussion.
Yeah, we can talk about it. I'd totally do an episode of talk about it if you want. Whatever. Down the line.
Yep.
See what happens. So yeah, we were thinking about talking about like doing another indie industry video, but instead of like industry as a whole, we wanted to talk about one aspect of it, most notably this whole Ghostbusters fiasco.
Because I feel it's not like a fiasco, really. I just think it's just like a thing that we all know we all are not just gonna like. And they're still doing it anyway.
Yesterday actually, I was watching Angry Video Game Nerds video about
Yeah.
it, and
I feel-
honestly I agree with everything he said
Yeah,
about
it's just
the
like-
whole thing. Like,
Again, I think we'll just elaborate more in a whole separate video.
yeah, I would definitely give our opinions on it and stuff
But,
like that.
I feel like that's much more of a topic on YouTube now. Is talking about what he said. Because I've seen like at least 5 videos because I watched that of other people just talking about that and giving like their opinions, and I'm like,
And like I
it's
do,
just your
like,
opinion, man.
I do like I genuinely agree with what he was saying because like when he mentioned the one quote that really stuck out to me was when he was talking about like, do we have to refer to the Ghostbusters like the Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, like do we have to refer to Ghostbusters as the old Ghostbusters now, like as opposed to this one where we're just referring to it as Ghostbusters?
Oh no.
I was like,
This
you know,
is-
I was like, you know, it makes a lot of sense because like, I don't want to refer to the old see, even I'm doing it. I don't want to refer to Ghostbusters as the Melissa McCarthy, Kate McKinnon, or Kristen Wiig
Wait.
one. I want to refer to it as the Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Harold Ramis
can I
one.
just ask you a question?
What?
Can you name the black actress in that who's playing the other movie, who's playing the black token Ghostbuster?
Isn't she's the one from SNL, right?
Yeah. But
She's
can you
SNL?
can you just name her name?
No.
Yeah, I
don't
can't
know.
either.
I haven't watched SNL in like 2 years, dude. Like I've only seen clips from it.
SNL's just not funny to me.
I heard last night, or I heard
The one
last
with
night's
Drake,
episode was
isn't it?
very good. No, last night was Fred Armisen.
That was
I
the
heard
last
that one was very, very good, though. I don't know. Like I saw a couple
Because-
skits from the Drake one. And I
because,
wasn't
like,
laughing. So whatever.
First off, Drake, I feel like has the ability to be funny, but like, I think it was just like on SNL they're just beating a dead horse with his like just like jokes that we make about him.
yeah. That's really the entirety of
So-
SNL, though. Like beating a dead horse to jokes that have been funny in
Because
the
like I remember,
past. And
because I remember the last time like Drake was hosting and like they had a big opening thing where like you're talking about how he's Jewish,
Yeah.
and I'm like, yeah, he's Jewish. I don't really care.
But like the thing is with SNL,
He's also Canadian, but I can also care less. I can also give
Yeah.
less of a shit about
exactly. The thing is, though, with SNL is I do have a lot of respect for those writers, though, because they lock themselves from Sunday to I think like Friday night, or like it was from Sunday to Friday. They lock themselves in their rooms for like
that. And try to make,
hours and hours and hours a day at a time
to try to make
to
good
try to
shows.
make good jokes. So I have a lot of respect for the writers behind them. I'm not
I
calling.
don't.
I'm not what.
I don't, because they're just
Really?
not funny. I can guarantee you.
All right, I want to see you do it then.
I mean, I know I just can't. But like fucking, I mean, like if I could, if you gave me, if I had like just if it was my job to make good jokes for an hour and a half program, I probably could. But that's just me just stroking my own dick. But like, because like I feel like it's all like, I mean like it's just everyone's like whatever, like it's just, if you find it funny, that's cool. If I don't find it funny, like who cares? Because like honestly, we all have like our own different like opinions about what we like and what we don't like.
Everybody, humor's subjective.
Yeah.
Humor is 100% subjective. Like how art is subjective, how reviewing things is subjective. Like everybody's going to have a different opinion.
But I feel like the majority of people don't find SNL funny anymore.
Yes, and that is hands down correct. But I still have a lot of respect for those writers because even if they are churning out utter shit, they are locking themselves in that room to live.
No, you
basically.
know what? I'm gonna change my opinion. I have a lot of respect for them because they keep turning out the same shit and they get paid the same exact amount of money and make more money than most people who work harder than they do. They just make the same jokes that only like a niche audience finds funny. And like we said, majority of people don't find it funny at all.
Well, man, that's just like your opinion,
man. Whatever. That's just a small like thing we're gonna talk about, like a little insight of what we're gonna talk about later.
Yeah. It's not gonna be an AVGN. It's not gonna be like a we react to AVGN. It's gonna be our genuine opinions on it, you know.
And we might talk about what he said in that.
Yeah, because I really do think that he made some really, really good points in that video.
I think we have a lot of good points to talk about ourselves because I feel like
100%.
Because I feel like I don't really like I don't watch other people's reactions or shit to like that. I mean, like I watch like trailer reactions and I like look at how big the dislike bar is on like those trailers, and I'm like, I feel like whatever. I'm gonna save these opinions for later because I feel like if we just talk about it more, because we can talk about like this for like 5-10 minutes already.
Yeah, so we'll talk about the trailer and then we'll give our opinions on the whole Ghostbusters situation as a whole.
Yeah.
So yeah, and like I probably should mention right now that Ghostbusters is like not one of my favorite movies. I really, really liked it. Don't get me wrong, Ghostbusters is a marvelous movie.
Yeah.
It is a fantastic movie. I've seen it, but I've only seen it maybe like 2 or 3 times, you know?
Ghostbusters is one of those movies where I think I can sit down no matter where it is in the movie and enjoy it.
Oh, definitely, hands down. If it's on TV, I'll watch it, definitely. Like even if it's at like the middle point in the movie. But like it's not one of my favorite movies, you know what I mean? It's not like it's not in my movies that I would it's not one of my favorite movies. There we go. I don't know why I tried to overcomplicate that, but like it's not one of my favorite movies. But it is a magnificent movie though. And I acknowledge that it is definitely one of the best movies of the 1980s and is one of the best comedies ever made.
Yeah.
Because I 100% agree with those statements. So that's all I have to say about that so far until the next video that we do. Mm-hmm. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. And I know we went off on a little bit of a tangent, but it gives you something to look forward to in the future from us.
We always do. So
yes. All right, guys. I'm Deech.
I'm Gas.
Thanks for watching, you guys.
Yep.